right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. Keep in mind, everything's on the table. What I like to do on Fridays is focus a little more on Q&A. You know, a lot of you, I'm guessing, oh my God, Pixie. Damn. I know a lot of you are on pre-market prep where it's more ticker focused. We're gonna talk about Pixie and ISEE. Drop your questions in chat. I got something to show you. So speaking of pre-market prep, Alex is here with me today. Alex, please drop the link to StocksToTrade Advisory. Keep in mind, guys, I am still live every day at 8:30 Eastern. And the number one stock this morning was, well, until Pixie did this. So anyway, check this out. This was the end of pre-market prep this morning. So, a lot out there. Oracle's 99% green. But I'm probably going to go with ISEE, push through 19 for number one. So ISEE pushed through 19 for number one. ISEE broke 19 at 9:45 basically, and went $2 share higher, butted up against the Oracle resistance. Oracle also had an entry at what was it, 1879. So Oracle and I almost always agree. As always, I helped design Oracle with the team. So Oracle and Oracle, I always say, loves dip and rips. So that was the number one idea from this morning, laid out on pre-market prep. I'm still live every day, 8:30 Eastern. Alex will drop the link to StocksToTrade Advisory. As far as I know, it's still like $50. I don't even know. It's like $50 for a year or something. I mean, listen, here's my thing. Maybe it's $100. I don't know. It's cheap, whatever it is. Listen, do you think you could have made freaking $50 by being ready for ISEE an hour before it made the move and spiked $2 a share? Geez, so Pete, if you had 10 shares, well, 15 shares, you could have made $50. Anyway, get StocksToTrade Advisory. Pixie, beautiful. Probably going to go 40 plus as we're live. 35 was the new level. Here goes. Oh, baby. Incredible. So man, and the thing with Pixie, so much to like. So I posted this to my social media yesterday. So this was an alert yesterday morning at 9:18 a.m. on Pixie at 25. The goal was a high 30 or high 20s, even 30. And the biggest thing I want to focus on is the thesis. Okay. Still hoping for a pullback to lure in short sellers, which it did. Remember, this halted to the downside at the market open yesterday. It's a whole dollar, half dollar, all the way up. Set up recent reverse split. Recent reverse split is key. So it's low float, chat pumps, afternoon survivor, recent runner, former runner as well. Lot to like here. This thing broke 25 yesterday afternoon and went to like 33 in after hours. And then if you were on pre-market prep, you know that basically 35 was the new 25. So we talked about same idea and the 35 break, which just came, 35 being the new 25, and a bunch of people in the Steady Trade team nailing it. So, man, I'm telling you guys, like I said, that email I just showed you, Alex, if you could drop them the link to Daily Market Profits as well. Anyway, check it out. Just in incredible calls on ISEE all week. And in advance, that's the beautiful thing. In advance of the move, laid out with entries, exits, stop losses, and goals. So Jay Fenton says, is it best to buy the breakout after it pulls and then retest? Jay, with real stocks, 100%. So understand good question, Jay, but understand the delineation between trash squeezers like Pixie and real stocks. So, and you got to find your style, find what works for you. But when you're talking like a Blue Apron, you know, kind of real stock, what's been another good real stock? I mean, GameStop, Oracle had a break at 27, but when you're talking real stocks, the answer is yes. Because real stocks tend to spike, pull, spike, pull, spike, pull. Okay. That's that, you know, 3-wave, Elliott wave, not to get too bookish. Okay. But, you know, you tend to get, especially with like earnings winners, like Asana, good example. So you tend to get 3 spikes through the day when you're talking about a real stock with unusual volume and a catalyst. So yeah, I mean, usually you want to, and then especially if you use VWAP as a guide, like I recommend, you know, you're looking to take those VWAP pulls and then you risk a VWAP fail. Because again, real stocks don't go straight vertical. Now, understand the delineation between a real stock and some trash short squeeze like Pixie. In my opinion, it's very dangerous to buy pullbacks in trash low floaters like a Pixie or, I mean, on down the line, Ruby yesterday. Because when they pull, they tend to pull hard and they don't bounce. So understand the idea behind buying strength, okay, and buying weakness. Buying weakness is 1000% a good strategy, a sound strategy when you're talking about a real stock with real investors and hedge funds and algos lifting the bid, as we say, okay? So these are, you know, you look to buy those dips and then risk below VWAP, set your risk. But when you're talking trash low floaters that go straight vertical, you got to buy strength. You buy the rips and you sell the rips, okay? So that's probably a saying that none of you have ever heard, okay? Because again, the mainstream media, okay, won't tell you this, okay? Well, you know. Now you might be looking at this and be like, what do you mean? But this is what we call trading strength versus weakness. And what the reason these low float stocks hit the high of the day and then rip is because shorts are panicking at those key levels. So once you exhaust the shorts, stock pulls back and probably doesn't bounce. Because understand the reason for the move on Pixie is not, you know, it's not news, it's not fundamentals, it's not the filings, it's not the website, it's not the management team, okay? It's nothing. The reason Pixie does what it does is because shorts are panicking. So there you go. Maybe a little long-worded, but you trade weakness in real stocks with a catalyst and ideally a hot sector. You trade strength in trash, low float, short squeezes. Govix. Ooh, man. Hey, anything look familiar? Wow. Number 1 afternoon pattern. Guys, and I'm telling you, with Govix, and those of you that have been on pre-market prep, if you're not, I don't know why you're not. I mean, I draw this every day. I mean, like, right here it is. Look at, you know, okay. Anything look familiar? Okay. This is a drawing from today. Big spike, consolidates at VWAP, breaks the high day in the afternoon, AKA the number 1 afternoon pattern. I probably draw this about 15 times a week, okay? I'm looking at my whiteboards, okay? Just over and over. Here's one again, you know. Look at this. What is this? I can't read it. Big spike. Consolidates at VWAP. That says 2 p.m. Volume spike, okay? GovX. What did GovX do? Spikes big, pulls back, bases at VWAP, breaks the high of the day in the afternoon at 12:04 p.m., and spikes 30 cents a share. So if you took that, well done. I mean, 2x float rotation, sketchy HC Wainwright pump. So yes, absolute K, your noon entry. I mean, and I tell you, it's the best, highest probability entry on these. So Greg asked about WETG. Kind of choppy, high float, that's why. So, I mean, I get it, it's up a lot, but notice how like compare WETG and GovX, okay? So, let me do this. Let me get a big chart of both of these guys. So WETG, much harder to trade, in my opinion, because it's 100 million float and it's trading, 8 million shares. Now, does that mean it's untradeable? No. It's just, there's a reason it's so noisy, okay? Now it held VWAP all day. You could say, well, wait a minute, Tim, it held VWAP. You're right. But see how all over the place WETG is? Let's compare to a stock rotating the float and a relatively low float stock, I would say. I mean, it spikes, it pulls back, yes, but then just goes straight vertical, and in my opinion, just much cleaner price action. So it's just the annoyance of higher float stocks. Doesn't mean you can't trade them. Doesn't mean you should avoid them. It's just, they're choppy. They're choppier. So RVNC. Nice real stock. Breakout. What was the news on this? FDA approval yesterday. Oh, this is that Botox thing, right? Is this that Botox competitor? Right? Because this was a big headline. Listen, between ISEE and Pixie and Ruby and Blue Apron and GameStop and Asana, this is that, right? Is this that Botox competitor? I don't know. Anyway, real news, nice chart, swing it. There's your swing. So, any books or recommendations on chart analysis and candlesticks? Yes, a ton. So you guys ready? And keep in mind, on the StocksToTrade blog, okay, you can search, you can do this, StocksToTrade blog books, okay? There's a resource, okay? Google StocksToTrade blog books, but I'm going to give you some of my favorites. Technical Analysis Using Multiple Time Frames by Brian Shannon. You have to buy this book. Okay, if there's one technical analysis book, if you don't buy this book, you ain't serious. I can't talk to you. Okay, if you don't buy and read and reread this book, I have no time for you because you're not serious. Okay, and then everything by Steve Neeson. I like particularly the classic Japanese candlestick charting techniques. That's kind of the classic from 2001. But Steve Neeson, Nison, he also has Beyond Candlesticks. I have not read that. And he also has the Candlestick Course, which I also like. So anything by Steve Neeson, Brian Shannon, Start there. That's where I would start with when it comes to candlesticks. What is your advice for market halts? Thanks, G Zilgong. We have a rule in the Steady Trade team that if you get stuck in a halt, couple rules. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. One of the best things to do is if a stock starts halting right out of the gate, the best thing to do, and I know I say this all the time, but with the halters, the volatility halters, a great thing to do, especially for a newer trader, just wait till the afternoon, okay? They tend to settle down and halt less. Doesn't mean they can't halt again, no, but they halt less. So like Pixie yesterday morning, great example, okay? Pixie comes out of the gate, halts to the upside, halts to the downside, settled down, and then ran into the close and didn't halt, okay? That's the best thing. You didn't get the halt in the afternoon. Doesn't mean they can't. It's just less common. Now, the second rule is if you're in a halt, and write this one down, okay? If you're in a halt, first thing you do is as soon as it unhalts, you get out. Use limit orders, but get out, okay? Especially like a lot of you, I assume, are long bias. So like you take you buy a dip and rip, and then it halts to the upside. Typically what happens, they tend to gap out of the halt, and then they crap, okay? So you cannot get greedy if you're in a volatility halt, okay? And this goes for the downside too. But a lot of you guys, you probably buy a chat pump, a dip and rip. It halts. They tend to gap. So you sell because they gap and crap. I wanted a different color. So they come out of the gap and crap, and you give back all your gains. Now, can they go higher? Yes. A lot of them go higher. But most of them gap and crap. So if you're in at 2 and it halts to 3, comes out of the halt and goes to 325, you take it. And you don't worry if it goes to 4 or goes to 5 because you know that a lot of them gap and crap. I'm having a hard time coming up with good risk levels. Sometimes I'm too tight and then too wide. Heather Pointer. Listen, guys, I'm here to do Q&A and I'm here to help you. I'm telling you, the best way, Heather, if you don't have stocks to trade, Alex, drop the link to the to the trial. I am telling you, when it comes to picking levels, Oracle is a freaking game changer. It is a game changer for picking stops as well as, for picking entries, stops, and goals. It is a game changer. So please, and then I would say this. Do 2 things, Heather. Get the trial of Stocks to Trade. It gets you access to Oracle. And then join Stocks to Trade Advisory. Again, I think it's $50. I don't know. And then every morning, so here's the thing. Every single morning, every single day, I'm there and we're doing exactly that. Now, it doesn't mean you have to trade all the stocks, Heather, but you can learn. You know, I use the tool, I use the algo, I use key levels, I use VWAP, I use Fibonacci's, I use whole dollar, half dollars, I use red to greens, I use high day, low day, all these key levels, and I call it out. Again, that's what's great about it. Maybe you don't even trade the stock, but you can learn. So, like on ISEE, on the 19 break, okay, we had a goal of 2050, risking 50 cents a share. The idea was a 19 break, and we went over this in the Steady Trade team. A bunch of people took the trade. 19 break, risk on 1850, 3-to-1 risk to reward gives you a 2050 exit. Stock went to 2099, hit the Oracle level, pulled back. You could have got out at 2050. in that trade scenario, you're risking 50 cents to make $1.50. That's trading. And that's how you day trade. And that's how you use the levels. And that's how you use the tool. SHPH, I still hate, Greg. I mean, no offense, Greg. I mean, it might go, okay? I mean, it's setting up to go. It's just, my fear is a repeat of yesterday. See, what I don't like about these scam IPOs, I mean, look at yesterday. Now, any stock can dump, especially scammy low floaters. But, I mean, here's my answer to you, Greg. Look at this nice uptrend yesterday on SHPH. Does it look familiar? I mean, from 10 to 1 p.m. is exactly what SHPH is doing right now. You want to get caught in this freaking disaster right here? So that's why I don't. Now listen, I loved 2 weeks ago the front side. We loved these IPOs, but it's over. Mogu waking up. Anybody shorting this thing? Has anybody looked on Twitter? Anybody know? So Mogu was a top idea over 3 this morning, and it never went. But I just don't think it didn't attract any shorts. Does anybody know? Anybody on Twitter? Anybody know any idiot bros shorting Mogu? Help brother out! I've been too busy today. I haven't had time to go on freaking bro Twitter and see if the bros were shorting Mogu. So what I would say is stick to the plan of 3, but let me know if you've seen any of the bros. All right, guys, we're coming to the end. Hit me with any questions. Good stuff today. Good questions. I mean, I always love talking books. I love talking technical analysis. I love talking psychology. We broke down some trade plans. We got a lot done. Hey, we got a lot done there, eh? As always, get the weekend watch list. Some great calls last week, by the way. So it is 100% free. Check it out. GameStop, nice trender as well. Oracle had a 27 break on that. Would not surprise me to see Pixie retest the highs. So nobody's saying anything on Mogu. So just stick to the plan. 3 breaks. So, all right, guys. Have a good day. Get the watch list. Get Stocks to Trade Advisory. Would love to be there every morning, 8:30 Eastern. Basically, again, every day live going over very similar questions to what you guys asked today. Get it? It's stupid cheap. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning. Listen, Mogu over 3. I gotta believe, all jokes aside, I gotta believe someone was trying to short this at the low of the day, and now they're stuck. Volume's light, but it's Friday, baby. So